Hey, I'm Haley. 2 years ago, I was 22, Christmas Eve, fairy lights twinkling, 22 family members crammed around the table, and suddenly, my stepdad Greg grabs my chair, shoves me so hard I almost fall, and screams, "This seat is for my real daughter. Get out." Dead silence. Everyone freezes. I'm 22-year-old Haley, tears burning, standing there while his precious Madison slides in smiling. I walked out into the snow without a coat. 2 years later, same night, he is sobbing on my voicemail, begging for forgiveness while his whole life burns. Smash subscribe, drop where you're watching from because you're about to witness the pettiest, most perfect revenge ever. Hey, I'm Haley. 2 years ago, I was 22, thinking I finally had the perfect blended family, until my stepdad Greg decided Christmas Eve was the night to show the world who he really thought mattered. In front of 22 aunts, uncles, cousins, and my own mom, he physically pushed me out of my chair and screamed that the seat belonged to his real daughter. That single moment shattered everything, but it also lit the match. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how I took that humiliation and turned it into the sweetest, most calculated revenge that cost Greg his marriage, his six-figure job, his reputation, and over $180,000 cold, hard cash. You'll see the screenshots, hear the voicemails, and watch the one viral clip that got 27 million views in 48 hours and ended him. If you've ever been treated like you don't belong in your own family, this one's for you. Buckle up, because what I did next still makes people say I went too far, but they all watched till the very last second. Let's go back to Christmas Eve 2022. From the outside, we looked like the perfect blended family. Matching pajamas, Instagram-worthy table, my mom beaming because after 6 years of marriage, she finally thought Greg accepted me. I'd spent all day cooking with her, set the table, even made those stupid handwritten place cards everyone pretends to love. Mine was right next to Mom, where it had been every holiday since I was 16. Then the doorbell rings. Madison, Greg's 19-year-old princess from his first marriage, struts in 45 minutes late, designer coat, Starbucks in hand, acting like the party was waiting on her. Everyone does the whole, "Oh, you made it" thing. Greg jumps up, hugs her like she's royalty, then turns to me with this fake smile and says, "Haley, baby, scoot down one, Madison's here now." I laugh it off at first because what else am I supposed to do? But there's no extra chair. He knows that. Next thing I know, he's behind me, hands on my chair, and literally shoves it so hard the legs screech across the hardwood. Plates rattle. He leans down and, loud enough for the whole table to hear, says, "This seat is for my real daughter. Get out." Dead silence. 22 people staring, forks frozen halfway to mouths. My Aunt Kelly's phone is already up recording because she felt the vibe shift. I stand up, tears instant, burning hot, and I just walk straight out the front door into the snow in my socks and thin sweater. Nobody stopped me, not even my mom. That was the moment I decided Greg was going to learn what happens when you humiliate the wrong girl on Christmas. Most people would have screamed, posted a tearful TikTok, maybe slashed his tires. I didn't shed another tear after that night. I went Arctic. The second I got in my car, shoes soaked, fingers numb, I turned the pain off and the plan on. First move, I bought a tiny voice-activated recorder the next day and started carrying it everywhere. Every snide comment, every "you're not my real kid" dig, every time he bragged about writing Madison's college tuition while telling me community college was good enough, recorded, time-stamped, cloud-backed. Then came the bigger discoveries. One night, I borrowed my mom's laptop to print something and saw an unfamiliar email tab open. Curiosity won. 40 minutes later, I'm staring at photos of a whole second family in Florida, another woman, 2 little kids calling Greg daddy, and bank transfers labeled child support number 2. Oh, and the best part? He was claiming both sets of kids on his taxes, but only paying one. Straight up felony fraud. I screenshotted everything, triple encrypted it, and sent copies to a new Gmail only I knew. Next, I started love bombing my mom's side of the family. Sunday dinners, helping Aunt Kelly with her Etsy shop, babysitting cousins. Within months, they were venting to me about how Greg always treated me like an outsider. I just nodded, planted tiny seeds, collected every story. By summer 2023, I had a war chest. Audio files, financial proof, texts where he called me that ungrateful brat, and half the family already questioning him. I smiled at every fake family barbecue while quietly moving the chess pieces exactly where I needed them. Greg had no idea the quiet girl he shoved out into the snow was building a guillotine he'd walk straight into 2 Christmases later. And the best part? He still thought I was too broken to fight back. Here are the exact 5 moves that turned one shove into total annihilation. Every single one was planned down to the minute. I built a digital fortress. Over 18 months, I collected 47 separate recordings. Greg mocking my dead dad, calling me a leech, bragging he'd never leave me a dime. Then the Florida bombshell. Photos, Venmo payments labeled "for the boys," and his second wife tagging him in family pics. I organized everything into dated folders, converted audio to text, and stored duplicates on 2 encrypted drives, plus a lawyer's cloud I paid for in cash. I even had screenshots of him telling Madison I was jealous of her because I never had a real father. Every file had metadata untouched, so nothing could be called fake. This wasn't a folder, it was a loaded gun with the safety off, just waiting for Christmas Eve 2024. His real daughter was the ace. 3 weeks before the drop, I mailed Madison a handwritten letter, no return address, postmarked 3 states away. Inside, printed photos of his half-brothers in Florida, bank transfers showing Greg paid their private school while making her take loans, and one line that broke her. He told me, "You were the spare because you're just like your mom." I included a burner phone photo of Greg kissing the other woman. Madison called him screaming that night. He lied, gaslit, then hung up on her. She posted the evidence on her private story first. By morning, half the family saw it. The princess he protected just handed me the sword. 2 days after Madison's meltdown, I created a Proton Mail account and sent identical packages, one to the IRS fraud division, one to Greg's corporate comptroller. Inside, 5 years of cooked W-2s, 1099s claiming kids that didn't live with him, and the Florida address. I used public records so it looked like a disgruntled neighbor. The IRS opened a full audit the same week his company launched an internal investigation for expense fraud, because I included his fake mileage logs too. They froze his bonus, suspended him pending review, and put a lien on the house before he even knew what hit him. He went from making partner to persona non grata in 14 days flat. Christmas Eve 2024, exactly 2 years later, 8:17 p.m., the same minute he shoved me. I posted Aunt Kelly's original phone footage to TikTok with the caption, "He said this seat was for his real daughter, so I took everything else." I stitched Madison's public disowning post, the IRS letter, and 30 seconds of his best audio hits. Duetted it on 3 accounts at once. By midnight, it was 11 million views. Morning talk shows called it the Christmas revenge heard around the world. His name trended nationwide. Old high school friends tagged him. His boss sighed before coffee. The video ended on my face smiling. "Merry Christmas, Greg. Enjoy the apartment." He still showed up to Mom's house that night, drunk and desperate. The second he walked in crying, fell to his knees in front of everyone begging me to take it all down, I looked down and said, loud enough for every phone recording, "You taught me blood is thicker than water, Greg. Turns out evidence is thicker than both." Then I played his 7-minute voicemail from the year before where he called me trash on speaker. Mom served him divorce papers right there on the porch while cousins filmed. Last thing he heard before the door shut was me saying, "Tell your real family in Florida I said hi." He left in an Uber alone while we opened presents without him. Checkmate. The video hit 27 million views in 4 days, 1.8 million comments screaming Team Haley and roasting Greg into next year. Madison posted a 10-slide Instagram carousel the next morning. Baby pictures with her half-brothers, the Florida bank transfers, and a final slide that just said, "I don't have a dad anymore," with 112K likes. Greg's company fired him December 26th. Official reason, loss of confidence. Real reason, the CEO's wife sent him the TikTok. Mom had the divorce papers ready. Sheriff served them Christmas morning while he was still hungover on the couch. No prenup meant he lost the house, the 401k, everything. His 7-minute voicemail from New Year's Eve is pure gold. Sobbing, slurring, "Haley, please, I'm in a studio apartment. I have nothing. They took my truck." Background noise? Just a microwave beep and a cat that isn't even his. Today, he's 48. living in a 450 square foot complex off Route 9, working night shift at a warehouse. Blocked by every family member on both sides. Meanwhile, I'm 24, engaged, and the lake house title just got transferred into my name. Proof complete. Here's the truth nobody wants to hear. 99% of people explode the second they get humiliated, and they walk away with absolutely nothing but a louder enemy. They post the rant, send the angry text, cry on live, and guess what? The other person spins it, plays victim, and you look unhinged while they keep everything. Instant revenge feels good for 10 minutes and then hands them all the power. I waited exactly 730 days, 2 full trips around the sun. I smiled at barbecues, sent birthday cards, played the mature one while quietly stacking evidence like Jenga blocks made of dynamite. Silent revenge wins because nobody sees it coming, nobody can prepare, and when it finally drops, there's no defense, just consequences. You don't need to scream to destroy someone. You just need patience and receipts. The second you trade the long game for the quick high, you lose. I didn't. And that's exactly how I took everything he had while he watched it disappear one calculated Christmas at a time. So yeah, I'm 24 now, engaged to a guy who actually knows what family means, running my little online shop full-time, and waking up every morning without that knot in my stomach. The girl who got shoved into the snow on Christmas Eve, she's gone. In her place is the woman who owns the family lake house Greg spent 20 years bragging about. Titles in my name only, baby. Mom's happier than she's been in a decade, Madison texts me memes, and every cousin fights to sit next to me at dinner. This Christmas, I'll be at the head of the table, feet up, pouring wine from the bar he built, in the house that used to be his. Karma doesn't always need to hurry. Sometimes she just needs the right invitation. If you watched this and felt that fire in your chest, comment right now. The second he pushed me, were you Team Haley or Team Greg? Be honest. Drop it below, smash subscribe for more stories of girls who stopped taking crap and started taking everything. See you in the next one.